Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Welcome to the show, y'all. Let me ask you a question. What would you do if your son or daughter went to prison? What would you do to protect them? Do you know? I hope that you never have to find out. But in this show, I'm going to tell you about this officer that had to confront himself with that very question. He had to figure out a way to protect his son that ended up in prison. Now, let me tell you this story. This officer had the reputation of being hard-nosed, right? Particularly toward gang members. He didn't like them. He didn't like them. He thought that what they stood for was foul. He went at them every chance he got, shaking them down, being rough with them, didn't care nothing about how they felt, violated them in his mind, doing his job, but in their mind, violating them in every way he could, every opportunity that he had. If he could shake them down twice a day, he would. He'd catch them coming into the unit from another unit or from work, he'd patting them down, even though they might have just got patted down the street, down the sidewalk. He did everything he could to make their lives miserable. Any and everything that he could to make their lives miserable. He had some of them even threaten him and tell him if they get the opportunity to do something to him, they would do it. He didn't care nothing about that. He wasn't scared of them. Nothing to be scared of in his mind. You know what I'm saying? What could they do? They couldn't get to him or his family. So he wasn't worried about none of that. So he kept his foot on their neck every chance he got. Well, as life would have it, his son was in the streets. And a lot of people knew this. You know what I'm saying? The area that this particular officer was from, you had a few people that were locked up that were from that area. And he would have conversations with them and he would tell them about his son and what he was doing and all, because they knew him. They had heard about him, and plus they knew him. They all grew up in this same area, you know. And they knew he was in the street, but this officer would be trying to put on like his son is doing the right thing, he's getting it together, and they needed to get their lives together, all this and that. Stunning. But they heard the stories in the streets. His son was out there selling a little dope, doing his thing, getting his money, you know, and there's no way that his pops didn't know that. No way he didn't know that. So his son ended up getting caught up in this sweep. You know, indictments come out every June and July, y'all. Y'all know about them sealed indictments, don't you? Controlled buys, all of that kind of stuff to be going down in June and July. So when the indictments come out, oh my goodness, his son's name is on the list. They looking for him. They looking for him. Now, because his daddy was a part of law enforcement, I'm sure he got the heads up. Said, look here. We're looking for your son. Where is he at? Where is he at? I'm sure he got that phone call. But let's just go on with the story. I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to get messy. Not yet. So his son, you know how they put everybody on TV? They have all their pictures and stuff like that. Looking for this person, looking for that person, and so on and so forth. Now look, his son had never been arrested. So they didn't have a picture of him like that. So they had a picture up there. It was just a silhouette. And his name was up under. Now everybody has seen it. Everybody's seen it. And everybody that knew his son's name, they knew his daddy. Now some of his colleagues seen it, so he's embarrassed. He come to work, he extra hard on everybody. Now he mad. How dare his son get caught up in that like a common criminal? That's what he was telling everybody. He said he going to have to pay for what he did. And that's dead on that. No favoritism. no nothing. He wouldn't call in no favors. He ain't gonna do none of that because you got to pay for what you do. That's the only way the system works. Got to pay for what you do. Sounds good, don't it? Yeah, if it was true for everybody. Pay your way. Let it do what it do. But when his son goes to court, he does like any father do. He gets him a lawyer, if he could afford it, and he's trying to get him low and go. So his son ended up copping out. He got him a little 4-5 year sentence. Nothing major at 30%. And at first he was trying to get it to where his son could stay at the county jail because he didn't want him to come to prison. He felt like it would be dangerous for him. So he was working on that, but for whatever reason, the DA wasn't trying to hear that. Ship him on out to the penitentiary. So the sheriff and them, they sent him on to the penitentiary. But because his daddy was a corrections officer with some rank, they wouldn't allow him to be put in the same prison that his daddy was in. So he ended up getting sent to the other end of the state. Ooh, we good golly. Where it's really going down. Gang Central. Those of you that know the business, y'all know what I'm talking about. So he got sent to one of the worst prisons in the state. Now his daddy was spooked because here it is. This is the officer that's been hard on all the gang members. Been hard on all the gang members. So now what? What you gonna do now that your son gonna end up at Gang Central? So when his son made the phone call home and he said, Daddy, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. He talking to his daddy, crying on the phone. His daddy tell him, now listen to me now. His daddy tell him if you feel like it, he'll make a phone call and they'll put him in protective custody. His son spent enough time at the county jail to know that you don't want to go to protective custody. See, people that work in law enforcement have a different idea about what protective custody is versus the people that are actually in the penitentiary. For people that are in the penitentiary, protective custody is a last resort because you will never be able to get that off of you. People will continually, no matter how much time you get, no matter what you do, people will continually try to make you feel as though you don't matter. And that is not good. That's not good at all. They will always be hard on you. They will always be taking things from you, beating you up, taking what you got. They'll be doing all this stuff, and it ain't no way out of it. And it don't matter. You want to protect them because you checked in. You scared. You can't handle it out here. But the law enforcement side, they think that that's a tool to be used. If you can't handle it, your life is in danger, legitimate danger, you should go to PC. That's what they say. So his son said, nah, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to do it. So when he gets put on the compound, everybody's waiting on him. Everybody's talking. The letters was gone, already had been sent. That's how it worked back in the day. Letters get sent. Wasn't no phones then, so the letters done got sent out. They touched down. Now they looking for him. They looking for inmate such and such. His dad is CO at the other prison. He hard on the guys. Enough said. Enough said. He's in some real danger now. And he knows it. So a couple of the guys, they step to him when they come into the posse. What's your name, man? He not understanding what's really going on. He tell them what his name is. They say, man, let me help you with your stuff. You living upstairs. So they grab his bags. They walking up the stairs. They going the opposite way than the cell that he's in. You know what it is. It's a jack move. This belong to us now. So they take all this stuff. Everything. TV, everything. Went into the room with it, separated the stuff, took his commissary that he had, separated everything, and gave him back his state clothes, told him, here you go. No hygiene, no nothing. He ain't got nothing, y'all. He ain't got no toothpaste, he ain't got no toothbrush, he ain't got no washcloths or nothing. All of this stuff, he got his blues, he got his state blues, that's all he got, gone. No tennis shoes, no shower shoes, no nothing, other than what's on his feet. You feel me? What he got on his body is all he got. That's it. And his state clothes, that's what they gave him back. So he called his daddy, and he tell his dad, I need some help. I don't know what to do. They took my TV, they took my commissary. So his daddy said, I'm going to buy you another TV. I'm going to put some money on your book so you can get some commissary. So that took a few days. And while those days were passing, some of the guys bumped down on him, put hands on him, tell your pops, this for him. He tried to fight back, but you can't beat that blue wave. They crush him. They crush him. And then he don't say nothing. He keep it in penitentiary. But if he can't take much more of this. He can't take much more of it. So one of the folks stepped to him. And then one of the big homies on the deuce, they stepped to him too. They said, look, if you pay, we'll protect you. You don't have to worry about that. He said, I ain't got no money. They said, call your pops. He got money. He worked for the state. So he called his pops and he told his pops, look, they telling me I got to pay to live here. What do I do? His pops asked him, how much are they talking? Now this on the phone, they recording everything. They recording everything. He tell them they want 100 a week. Simple as that. A piece. 100 a week for the folks, 100 a week for the crib. You feel me? That's $800 a month. He can't afford it. But because of his son, he does it. First couple of months, he's struggling to do it, but he's doing it. And he's hanging on. And he starts to break because he can't pay his own bills now. But he's scared that if he don't keep sending him this money, it's going to hurt his son. He's scared if he says something about it and they go down there and lock these folks down, then it's still, they can't lock up all of them. His son's still going to be in danger. That's how it is in here. You don't get away. It's not that simple. And even if he would have went to protective custody, they're going to get him for that too. Because they'll have somebody go to the back and get him. It's how it works. So his daddy ended up pulling up on some of the Crips and some of the folks at the penitentiary that he's at. And he go to him, man to man. And he get the head of the compound on both of them. And he talking to him. He said, look, man, we got to work something out. Because I can't keep this up. I can't keep paying. But I don't want nothing to happen to my son. What can we do? What can we do? So they told him, look, we can't make that call. We ain't down there. But we'll see what we can do. But at the end of the day, you're going to pay for what you've been doing to all of us. And they break him down like that. Now he's nervous and he's scared. He don't know what to do, y'all. So like I say, everything was done by mail back then. So the letter makes its way down there and then they get the mail back and they tell him, look, man, we'll back up if that's what you want. You feel me? They making more money doing what they do. They don't want to really be taking the risk anyway. They were just doing it because folks and them said do it. But y'all do what you want to do and let us know. So they steps to the CO. Well, he's got a little rank. I'm saying CO for the sake of the story, but he got a little rank. And they tell him, look, back up, man. Leave us alone. Back up. And he backed up. All the way up. And that was the understanding. Leave us alone, man. We'll leave him alone. Now, how many of y'all would do that? How many of y'all would do that? I think every single one of you would. You'll talk that tough talk. Or you might try to do what you think is best by calling administration and having your son put in protective custody. But if you do that, you don't understand the dynamics of the penitentiary either. In a lot of situations, man, the majority of situations, if they want you, you got it. It's as simple as that. So why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this story because you got some people in here that don't care about you. They don't care about you trying to get your life together. They don't care about none of that. They will put you in positions to where you'll feel like you can't win. And you'll feel like there's no hope. And see, I know a lot of you right now think I'm talking about the CO, the officer, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm not talking about the officer. I'm talking about those of us in blue. Yeah, officers do what they do, but this podcast, this is about personal responsibility, personal accountability. I can't be responsible for what they do. I can be responsible for how I respond to it. You understand? So what I'm saying to you is this. The people that you align yourself with, the people that you say you will die for, the people that you say got your best interests at heart, a lot of times it's personal. They'll disguise it to make it look like they care about you, but it's not that. And they'll have you doing things that could put you in danger. They'll have you doing things that could cost you your freedom way more than what it already is. So be careful about who you associate with. Be careful about what you do. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Remember that. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.